on my latest trip to the Lego store where I picked up the 100th anniversary of the Disney CMF series. They had the Lego Life magazine, and I was pretty excited to see it because I haven't been to a Lego store in a long time, so glad I could pick this up for me and the kids. But let's thumb through this magazine, and before I turn the front cover here, pay attention to this truck and that car. This truck and that car. But now let's open it up to our issue 2 of the Lego Life magazine, and it starts out with them bird watching. Got the guy dressed as a tree with birds on him. You got a bird house, owls, and lots of just birds around. And then we go to the Max comic, and in the Max comic, he decides to let all the animal creatures into his home, and he doesn't know what's wrong with that, but you know, his dog has a pretty good idea as he says what could possibly go wrong. And what could possibly go wrong is monkeys jumping on your bed. You know, 5 little monkeys jumping on your bed. One falls off and bumps his head. Then you've got the penguins in the freezer. Then there's no room on the couch because you got bunnies and bears. And you know, finally he decides that, you know, maybe it's best to have the animals live outside where they belong. And Max's dog is very happy to have his couch back. Yes, his couch, not Max's couch. But we'll turn the page, and the first game is a Find the Bee, find the Minecraft bees, and these are actually pretty easy. There's only one that's kind of hard to find because it's backwards, and then we have some adorable dogs and builds, and these facts are about the actual dog breed and not the Lego build that they were created from. We have the Design Your Places, kind of like our Friends page, and on the Friends page, this lower comic panel, it's about sustainability because we tend to throw out a lot of odd looking fruit that's perfectly ripe. And you know, I love that Lego did this since you have the perfectly molded plastic fruit on your Lego sets, but in reality, pears don't always look like the pears we think they're going to look like, and a lot of these fruit just gets thrown out and wasted. So I like the conservation of this particular panel. And then we're going to our little Ninjago comic where they're being attacked and Jay runs away scared. So you'd have to go online to read the rest of the comic. And next, that's kind of like, what kind of ninja are you, by following the path of your choices. We turn the page, and this is probably the easiest of all the games. You just basically have to match the character with the picture. So policeman, policeman, firefighter, firefighter, paramedic, paramedic, crook, crook. Pretty simple. I don't mind giving you the answers to that. Then we've got some these Technic cars that Lego does, and then for this we've got with our little Legoland poster, but we've got a fold-out poster here of the Avatar, Pandora, and all the water creatures that we find in Lego sets and in the movie, which I still haven't seen, and I probably won't see because if you don't see it in the theater, what's the point? But really cool creature pieces, and I love this underwater sets that Lego is building for them. You got continued the Technic cars. Now in this game, you're finding the pattern. I won't go through the whole pattern, but it basically goes like this: old lady, crook, vet, and then police officer. So old lady, crook, paramedic, police officer. Old lady, crook, and you just follow the path all the way from start to finish. So you just kind of follow the patterns. That's kind of a good pattern game for kids. And then you have Count the Balloons. This is a 2-player game. It's based on the Up set, and the Up set, what you do is try to go to the start to the finish line and collect as many points as possible. So 3 balloons, 1 balloon, 3 balloons, 1 balloon, 5 balloons. But if you go over a square or a hexagon that another player has gone, you don't get any points. So you're trying to get to the finish line with the most balloon points. And on here, we've got kind of a Harry Potter dots theme game where you just kind of shade in these squares to be the different types of tiles: quarter piles, tie piles, half extended circle tiles, to create your own dot image. And then this is a Become the Master Pilot, and here's just, you can play by yourself or with a friend, but you're trying to find the most points to get from the start to the finish line of the Become a Master Pilot in this TIE bomber. The next page is Harry Potter, and it's just checkers. So what you do is get some 1x1 Lego pieces, and you put them on your checkerboard, and you play a little checkers on your Lego Life magazine. And then the build on your own is a tree house, which goes back to our very first page where they're bird watching. So you get to kind of build your own bird house. And the bird house is kind of cool, but I feel like you could have done a better bird. I've seen many better micro builds of birds from Lego before. But this is kind of a nice, simple build, and you probably definitely have all these pieces at home. And then we have an underwater party where you get to decorate this sea turtle shell any way you want. They give you some ideas of how you can color it, but you can do whatever you want. Then over here we have another game where you have to match these particular pieces with the missing part of our Hulkbuster Iron Man suit. So you just got to match different pieces here in the Wakanda scene. And then of course we have our little cool creations by our junior builders, and I just always love to see the different things that young minds come up with. And then here's the answer sheet to any of those games you want to play. And then you'll remember that I said to keep an eye on those first two cars. And then there's this strange car with like palm leaves, a helicopter blade. Well, as I turn the page to the back here, and I got this Lego store, so no address, you'll see find these 3 cars within the magazine. And we found the first 2 on the front cover, and that last one was on the very last page with the palm leaf helicopter blades. But this was the Lego Life magazine issue 2 that I was able to pick up at the Lego store. But I like to thumb through them for those people who don't get them in the mail or don't have a Lego store near them.
If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe or check out some of our other videos. Until next time, let's keep building together.